Alrighty. I don't know that I'm going to get the chat room working. This is such a pain in the butt, you guys. I'm so sorry. So I am still going to vlog here for an hour. If you'd like to chat with me, you can use Twitter. I will monitor on my tablet because this is ridiculous. So hi, I'm Maggibot. This morning I wanted to do some live content. So give me 1 second, bear with me while I share some links onto Twitter because I can't get this to work properly. And so my whole intent was to do more live interactive stuff, and I launched Patreon this last month, and I'm really starting to ramp up and try and get June to be like a bigger month for me. And part of that was to try and interact with people more. So alrighty, 1 second while I share this link, and then we will get right to this. Yeah, this is kind of a shame because Google Hangout is so finicky, and you know, the number of people that I've seen just have problems getting it working is ridiculous. But I will have an opportunity if anyone would like to come on to the Hangout part of the Hangout and actually get on camera. I have 2 to 3 spots in that. So if you'd like to send me a message, Twitter or Facebook or whatever, I will have my handy dandy tablet on in case I can get anyone to interact this way. It's unfortunate, but you know, that kind of stuff happens, and we will be doing more of these. So this is not by any means like the last time. I will have it definitely working before the next time. So yeah, hi. So Sunday mornings are kind of my day off before I do filming and stuff, and so it's kind of a very convenient time for me to be able to do a stream or something interactive. I thought it might be okay because so many people have family life and that type of stuff, but 10 a.m. is not so bad that people are probably already kind of watching a movie or relaxing or reading a book in the morning. And this was a good time, in my mind, for other time zones. So we started a Twitch stream with some friends of mine called Games on the Rocks, and it's Friday night, but it's super, super late Friday. And so I thought it might just make it where you probably can't ask a lot of people to join you at like 4 a.m. or anything. So Jason says, start the chat before you launch the Hangouts, an option before you go live. Jason, if you're watching, I did try 4 times to make that go, and it wouldn't show up, not once. I toggled it. So at this point, I just need to get started, and yeah, so be it. As I said, I will be monitoring Twitter for our chat room today. I apologize. We will make this go better next time. For our Friday night, it'll be Twitch stream, and Stephanie Straw's doing all of the fancy dancy work with it. She's got overlays, and Twitch chat is like amazing. So that will be taken care of. These Sundays, though, are all me. And so I don't know. We probably won't do like an encoder and a stream until I get a computer upgrade. I think my computer would fall over and die. So good morning, everybody. So yeah, I do apologize, no chat, but there's chat through Twitter, and I have 2 to 3 spots on Hangout with me if you'd like to talk directly. Just send me a message and I will give you the link. I am going to be talking a little bit about my main disappointment this week. So I got a message this morning from a friend saying they were at a sale, like a garage sale, and they found a copy of Tin Goose in shrink for $35. And I had been going on for weeks about wanting to play Tin Goose. I really was desperate to play it, and so I did. I'm getting a message from someone trying to find the stream. 1 second, let me let her know that there's a later link she needs to find. So Tin Goose, we played it twice, and oh, Nicholas wants to come on. So Nicholas also got to play this, but not with me. So the first time was a learning game, and we learned out of the book, which is never my preference of going into an auction game. it is more like you really want to be able to value actions and understand costs and things like that. And so this is like a bidding auction game that learning out of the book was really rough. So I gave it, okay, we had a kind of mediocre first game, but the game's supposed to be really good. I love Psychojahara. Like all of the things were lining up to be wonderful. And then we played a second time. And so this is it was a 4-player game. And, oh, hey, Nicholas, good morning. I can't hear you, one sec. Oh, you probably have your mic off.
Yeah, I muted because I accidentally had like both things going at once, and that was awful.
I see. Hi, everybody. This is Nicholas. If you don't know Nicholas Coe from Twitter and BG and a little bit everywhere. Are you still out at HeavyCon?
Yep, I'm still in Denver. Today's the
moly.
last day. It runs till 11 p.m. today, which is a little unusual. I don't know why it doesn't run until Monday afternoon or stop Sunday afternoon, but not my con.
I think it's because, Ed's one guy. So
yeah.
I think he's learning that he got a lot of support this year. So what have you been playing? I know 18xx was on your...
Yeah, I played a few different 18xx titles because I'm still I've played a few before, but I'm still very much learning about the various directions that the system has been taken in. So I tried 1817 and 1873 and 1841. And then other than those games, which all take like over 4 hours, I've mostly just been playing like little 1-hour games like Ponzi Scheme.
That's a really good con game, though. That's a nice one.
Yeah.
I would imagine playing Ponzi Scheme before you played an 18xx might give you some insight into how to play the game better, because you get to see how people treat money and value actions. That's what I love about Ponzi Scheme, is it's a really quick way to kind of size people up.
Yeah, it's I think of it as a financial party game.
It definitely falls into those gamer party games that are just they're party games for those of us who really like rules. But I've been having a lot of fun with that. For anyone watching, I know we've got a few viewers. Hi, good morning. So sorry the chat's not working. I did try. I restarted this stupid thing a few times, but it is not working. So if you have questions or anything you want to interact, please hit me up on Twitter, and I will be monitoring that as best I can. I have 1 to 2 spots maybe during the cast to have people come on camera, like Nicholas here, and I thought that would be kind of a fun way to do this. I'm so glad you're here. So Tin Goose, right? You played something.
I played it once at Geekway, and not the best of circumstances at all, because I was hungry, and they like delivered my food, but they like had the hotel call my room, which I of course wasn't in, and weird things like that. So I was just like upset at other things when I tried Tin Goose. So I sort of want to try again in a better situation.
Okay.
I find it really weird because I enjoy auctions quite a bit. And it's a very auction heavy game. On the other hand, there's like the event cards, which are hard to know about because like in a 4-player game, you're only seeing a quarter of the cards that could possibly come out.
So for those of you watching Tin Goose, everybody gets 10 cards total. You get 3 early, 3 late, and 4 mid-game cards. And it's sort of like Twilight Struggle, kind of where you're playing either you're putting valuable planes up for auction, or you're playing events, which are probably negative for you as much as it's negative for everybody. Then on a turn, you're going to, if you play a plane, it starts an auction, and anyone can buy that plane out from under you before you take your actions on a turn. Let me just, spoiler alert, I found huge problems with this game. It is such a win more, it's not even funny. You get 1 extra action up or a little bit of extra money, and you just start that snowball. And you basically take at least 1 person out right away, and if not 2, and then the rest of the game is just kind of not as fun as it should be.
Yeah, I definitely noticed. Like, I think in the game that I played, we were bidding a little bit too low on the planes, really. But with aggressive bidding, it's very easy to effectively remove people from the game, um, and just keep them there. Um, I don't. I keep continue to struggle with like who this game is for because it's like an auction game that plays in 60 minutes and has randomness and basically eliminates people, but also has like hidden but trackable money and chips and things. It's a real odd goose.
It was an odd duck. Ha! That's was my joke the whole time. The whole time. So we had a couple of people. Hi, Erwin, and so Ellie. Hi. Jason played it with 3 players and said that he wasn't impressed with crappy components. Though other than the player screen, it was fine, like Rio Grande normal for me.
Yeah, I actually like the planes quite a bit. The rest of the components are kind of meh. I do find the map well, like, so the map has your usual like networking type stuff. So part of this is that you're building up a network of planes to try to reach various locations to get more money, basically. And the network part is pretty clear, but some of the planes let you move between hexes, which basically contain like a whole bunch of cities in the network. And the borders between those are incredibly hard to see.
Yeah, it's not the worst map I've ever seen, but it was certainly not. As soon as you started adding things to the board, it became one of those where as you add things to the board, it becomes more and more difficult to find what you're looking for. It has some incentives, but as much as it's a route building, network building game, it doesn't have objectives like you think there's going to be objectives. Like you get one card that is telling you to get to a specific city, but everything else is the same incentives for everyone. Like you just want to get to major cities.
Well, there are the bonuses if you play a card with a city in the lower left-hand corner where it's hard to read, and those are significant. And I got really lucky. Well, some of it was planning. Like I think 1 or 2 of them were planning, but then I like managed to stumble my way into a couple of others that gave me bonuses. Yeah, I ran away with the game that I played. Like one player was negative, the other 2 were around 125, and then I was around 265 or something silly like that.
So both of my games had a winner. The first one 260, the second one 350, and everyone. I was down at 160 both times.
Yeah, it just seems to be the way that the game is designed. And yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I don't remember what I was going to say now.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, I sat around with a friend of mine trying to figure out how you might be able to fix it. Like, there's a huge penalty for the 4th player or the 5th player, or whomever is going last, because that first player just gets such an advantage of being able to maybe get up an extra plane or an extra action right away. It's so awkward, and we couldn't figure out how to balance that out.
Yeah, I don't know. It's long enough that I want to look at the deck some more and stuff. Like I might pick up a copy on the deep sometime just to like poke at, because it looks like something that I should enjoy.
It's not. I can send you my copy if you want. No joke. I'm not joking. I was gonna start trying to trade it away like today, so I'll just send you mine.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get another play in like at the con this weekend before I head off, because I know that there's at least 1 copy floating around here, because there are a number of fans of Sekigahara and just general auction network building stuff here.
I mean, it should be right up both your and my alley. Like this game should have been a runaway hit. I was super excited about it, and now Star Trek Frontiers dies. I'm gonna be so sad. I'm gonna be devastated.
I've heard, I was a little skeptical of Tin Goose just because no one had seen it, as far as like at least no one I know had ever seen it before it actually made it out to retail.
It was at Gathering of Friends, so I got to see a little bit of it. Not that I was at Gathering of Friends, but I had people showing me stuff from it. Yeah. Are you cool if we bring on another guest?
Sure.
All right. I've got Uh, where do we have here? Oh, Georgie from Beards and Board Games wants to come on. I just have to type his stupid email. One sec. So, what else are you playing today?
Today, so since I haven't played enough 18xx so far, I'm planning to play a game of 1880 this afternoon and evening, which should be exciting. So like the 18xx games generally have a very similar structure, and 1880 like changes that up a moderate amount. I'm also excited because I've been playing the darn game for about 4 months now via email. That has just been one of the I think it's just that we didn't finish the game as quickly as we had naively hoped, and life stuff has started to get in the way. And now, like at some point, people just sort of forget what's going on, and it's hard to get back to it.
I can't do that where it's all separate like that.
Yeah. So I'm excited to just like, I don't know if I'll get to finish the game that I start here today, but it'll be interesting at least.
Jason says about Tin Goose, he says he was thinking regular power grid bidding style would work better for it, like where you could probably increase is what I'm guessing he means. And yes, to a certain extent, that would probably be more fun, but it doesn't solve the problem of just one person getting ahead, like, and just grabbing all the money and dominating.
Yeah, money is like, I think, like, if I was going to speculate on a single change that improves the game, it'd probably be reducing the loan punishment. But even so, I'm not at all confident. Yeah.
Sorry to keep ragging on Tin Goose, but it was such a disappointment that I'm just like, it's in my brain.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's one of these games that's like close enough to something I feel like I should enjoy. Like I had a similar thing with Wildcatters where I played Wildcatters a few times and I was like, I actually don't like this, but it seems like it's 80 or 90% of the way to something I would enjoy a lot. And so I just spent like a lot of time thinking about like, what are the things that are off for it for me, you know?
Yeah, mine was Craftsman. I really like that game, but no, it's just not good enough. It's 90% of the way, and it's not, it doesn't, that 10% is super important, and it just became unplayable. It's just that one action, whatever that one action was, that was like the best thing on the board. It's just boring, like a pile up onto it, and then after that, you don't really care what you're doing.
Yeah, and the two things that really irked me about Wildcatters, so Wildcatters, like you build up infrastructure in different regions and you really need you need to like have some cooperation between players because you can't do everything yourself, which is cool. But then the way that the regions are activated are via these cards, and the incentive, like rather than like investing in companies or something, you get like, they're called shares, but basically they're just like player tokens, and whoever has the most of a player's tokens at the scoring points in the game gets a pile of points, victory points, and that's cool. But they didn't give you like wooden tokens; they gave you like these cards, and they're supposedly hidden. And I found that the game, at least when I played it, has taken like 3 hours, and I don't like memory elements in 3-hour games. And the other thing was what was it? Oh, and the shuffle of the cards, and you could spend VPs to like wipe, but regardless of what you did, like some areas were going to be activated more than others, and I don't know. It was strange. And more positive things, I've been poking at Imhotep some more.
One second before you get to that, one sec.
Sure.
So hi, Danielle. We were going to plan on doing a big Google Hangout with a chat room, and then the chat room wouldn't populate. So I've been just doing Twitter comments, and me and Nicholas are hanging out. Georgie from Beards and Board Games might join us. I sent them a link. I don't know if they're coming, but now we're just hanging out and chatting about games, and I don't have a huge structure for this because that's not my style. Sorry. Imhotep, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah. Yeah, so I played Imhotep. Like I've been playing Imhotep for over the last month or so. I think I'm up to 8 plays now. And the first 4 times I played with just all the like A sides, which are somewhat simpler. So Imhotep has these boards that you're trying to deliver blocks to score points and get bonuses. And the boards have different sides which function differently. Like they're vaguely similar, but they're different enough to add some spice to the game. And I was really interested in it because on your turn, all you can do is you can either take blocks from the supply and like make them available to yourself, or you can take a block that is available to you and place it anywhere on any boat that still has a space open, or you can sail a boat to a building site. And you want you want your blocks to go to where they're useful. And if you just, and anyone can move any boat. So if you just like load up a boat with all of your blocks, then someone's just going to take it and probably dump it somewhere that will do nothing for you. Oh, cool.
Oh, hi, good morning. Well, probably not morning for you.
Yeah, good evening, I guess. It's pretty late here. It's quite dark. I was like trying to sort the lighting before I came on, but I think this is about as good as I'm going to get just now.
Well, I'm glad you could be here anyway. That's kind of why I wanted to do Sunday morning. I thought it would be kind of fun. I could capture some of my friends across the way.
So how are you guys all doing?
Doing pretty well. I was out too late, but in a good way. So I've got coffee now. I'm fine.
Okay.
I've been getting more and more tired as this convention progresses, as usually happens. But today I slept in, so I feel much better.
I heard you said the convention is going on until like 11 p.m. tonight.
Yep. Yeah. I think it's just that's like the block of time that they booked the room for, basically. Like I expect it's like a per day rate or whatever, and it's so small. Like this is like a 50-person convention, so there's just like maybe 10 tables or something. Usually like clean up, like set up and tear down, I think are more of a concern, but this one's tiny enough that it just won't take long.
I really like those tiny conventions usually, though. If you just have like those 50 people, you're probably going to suss out the 4 or 5 people you really want to game with and kind of sit down, and you get in better games that way.
Yeah, that's right. And you sort of end up making closer ties and better friends as well, I guess, because you're not just running around and talking to 100 people.
Yeah, I think during BGG-Con, I think everyone sees me for about 10 minutes. And they're like, you want to play a game? And I'm like, yes, I do! And then we just never sees me again.
Yeah. I have a feeling that's kind of going to happen a lot next weekend at the UK Games Expo.
So, oh, you're going to UK Games? I'm so jealous!
Yeah. So, yeah, I have a strange feeling that that's going to happen quite often, given that I think there's like double the amount of vendors this year, but they're sticking with the same amount of people, so there's going to be 15 to 20,000 people, so I think it'll be quite a lot of battling for sales, but there'll be hundreds of people ready for interviews at the same time, so I'll just wander around, speak to people. A few things lined up anyway. Actually, I think you know one of the guys I'm going to be meeting up with, Maggie, Gil Hova.
I love Gil. He seems so excited for. Well, and Nicholas knows him as well because they live near each other. But Gil like tweeted that he's like super psyched to like go out to UK Board Games Expo. So I'm excited for him.
Yeah, I think I'm going to meet up with him on the Thursday night, and then have a quick spy of the networks, which I saw you spoke about early, Maggie. So I'm quite excited about it.
It's really good light game, and when he tells you it's medium weight, just tell him no. Wonder how mad he is at me now.
I really enjoyed his Bad Medicine game, even though it digressed quite quickly with my group, but I still really enjoyed the idea of it. So yeah, looking forward to checking out the networks.
I can't say I've played that one. I played Battle Merchants and I played the networks, but not the other one. It just seemed like a party game, so I didn't do it.
Yeah, Bad Medicine's definitely a party game. I know a lot of people enjoy it. I playtested it once, and I'm not the person to playtest a party game at all. And worse, we playtested it right after we played like 3 or 4 hours of Wildcatters. So it was like in super analytical optimization thinking, and I gave him this feedback about like trying to make it harder to put together words or something, and just no.
Every time I playtest a party game, I have to tell the person, I'm like, I'm gonna suggest a bunch of complicated things, and you have to just tell me no. Like, no. Oh man. So what
The
have you
jo-
been playing lately, Georgie?
It's been kind of hectic for me recently. I've been running around. I went to a couple of concerts and 2 weddings. So I think I've travelled about 800 miles in the last 3 weeks, and then I've got the Games Expo next weekend. So I haven't been able to get too much played.
No excuses, no.
Yeah, right, I
Play them on
know.
the train.
I've been driving, so I
Oh.
spy. But other than that, we we just played like a couple of smaller games with the in-laws. So we played like Co Express. Um, they wanted to play Rhino Hero as well, so we played that. And that's about it really for me. I've been so hectic recently. Oh yeah, we like a month ago, so it was a little while ago. But I'm really desperate to get back into our Pandemic Legacy game
Oh, okay.
because I don't want to lose track of where we are because we're like 6 games in and just going into May. So it's been quite heavy on my brain that I really need to get back through to one of the cities close to me so that we can get that finished because I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I didn't do Pandemic Legacy, so I just I asked a couple of friends to give me all the spoilers so I could know what was up with it. I knew I'd never play it, so I know what's going to happen to you.
Don't spoil it.
I would never spoil it for others. Like, I love surprises. I would never ever. Have either of you played Small City? I'm sure, Nicholas, you have.
No, actually, I haven't, because I didn't pick up a copy because I haven't gotten Clinique to the table yet, which I'm still frustrated about. It's just a bearer of a rulebook. So Small City is like one of those things I definitely want to try, and I went ahead and just backed Tramways because
Yeah.
well, Small Cities. I don't remember when the Small Cities Kickstarter ran, but didn't get to look at the rules.
Winter last year, because it was right when I was super broke, and a friend bought it for me.
I was probably just buried in games at the time. I was like, I should not buy games because
It was like November or something. Like, it was ridiculous, right in the middle of Essen. So.
Yeah, that would have been right after I spent like a month preparing for Essen. And, yeah.
I haven't played it yet, but I do remember it coming on to Kickstarter as well, and kind of thinking that that's usually like quite the quiet time for Kickstarter, like that time of year. So for a game that did it did fairly well on Kickstarter, I'm still really intrigued by it. Plus, I heard it plays one player.
Yeah.
So that's kind of intrigued me quite a lot as well. So I'll have to give it a try at some point. I need to get a copy.
So basically, Alban makes these fabulous games. So as soon as you play one of them, you're pretty much sold on playing any of them. Is my opinion. It's kind of like Vitello Lacerda, where you're just like, oh, okay, he gets games. So Small City, it's kind of what it sounds like a Sim City type game, and you're trying to add little bits to the board. It's just got a really weird area of influence type feel to it, kind of like suburbia or something, where you don't want to put residences next to industrial buildings, and there's an optimization in that. But the weirdest part of the game is that you can start everything on a 1 size, and then you get bonuses, or you can make bigger sizes, but you don't get the same bonuses for it. But the board is super small, and it's just so difficult and weird and cool.
I'm pretty sure I watched Rado did a run through for it as well. I'm pretty sure. And he seemed to really enjoy it. So anything that he enjoys, I'm generally pretty game for because we seem to have quite similar tastes in regards to Euros and 2 players. So yeah, I'll need to give it a try. But did you play it 1 player at all, or?
No, I don't really get an opportunity to solo game much. If I'm by myself, I'm just gonna make video content. So, yeah. But with that one, with Rado, I agree with you 100% on a lot of types of Euros, but I like more competitive games than he does. But I really love the way he breaks down games that you can even, if he didn't particularly enjoy the competitive elements of something, I can tell whether or not I will.
Yeah. Yeah, he's an awesome guy. I'm still trying to get hold of a t-shirt from him.
A t-shirt?
Yeah, he's got t-shirts on some website, so I really need to just get on and buy one, but I keep forgetting. But now that I got paid, I'm going to go and grab one. Good. I support him every year on Kickstarter, so yeah, he's an awesome guy. Plus, he managed to get my head around what was that crazy 2-player puzzle type game? The Ravens of Thrai Shahara.
I was just unwrapping my copy.
Game, it's hard to get your head around, but it's fun.
It looks so cool, though.
It
I
does.
know they had copies available like a couple years back, but it just came out in the States for retail, so I just picked it up in retail. But it's so beautiful.
Don't open the envelopes.
I won't. No spoils. No. That's a good thing to say, though. I wish they had put something on the inside, just like, don't ruin this for yourself. Because how many people are gonna just open this all the way up?
Yeah, just be like, oh, well, it's these.
Well, there
Yeah,
might be
moments.
warnings or something. Let's see. They're
I
like
think-
numbered with a little sticker, so hopefully people understand that that's probably not to be opened.
Now I'm imagining like little sticker police tape over the side of the cards. Police line, do not cross.
Yeah,
No,
it came
that's
with contingencies today. I brought like 3 games I hadn't played yet that I bought and like things to open in case no one was here. Which, to be fair, I didn't even get the chat working. It's not the original link. It's my embedded video didn't work. This is just bad. All right, let's.
Like
I
3
was gonna
attempts.
say let's check in with Twitter while you're chatting.
Yeah, no worries. So when are you actually going back out to the con, Nicholas? Or
I will be going back like as soon as I get off of here. I will just walk downstairs, and yeah. I just thought it'd be fun to take a break for an hour, and the mornings tend to be a little quieter, and I'm not sure that. Well, like earlier, I wasn't sure that I was going to be up for like another big, long, heavy game because I just hadn't slept enough. So I slept a little bit, and then decided to come on here and chat with you, lovely folks, and then I hope to play something when I get back down.
So I heard you were playing or trying to play some of the. Well, I say try, and I'm not saying that you failed, of course, but you were playing some of the 18xx games.
Yes.
So you're enjoying those games, or are they too?
They're an experience. I have been enjoying the ones I've played quite a bit in general. A number of them are so. I'm pretty good at figuring out how I feel about games. Oftentimes from just reading the rule books or maybe playing ones for longer, particularly for shorter ones. For longer and more complicated ones, like. Even after one play, oftentimes I'm like, well, that was a game. I think I've like got my head wrapped around, like how things fit together finally. And next time I can actually play for real. So this week I've been trying like a few new ones. So it's been a lot of wait, how does this work again? And I've also been really tired for a number of them. So it's been like, what's 2 + 3? Because there's a lot of arithmetic.
Yes.
Yeah. I've been interested in them for a while, but only relatively recently, like, got people together to actually play them a few times. And when I was invited to HeavyCon, I figured that this would be a good opportunity to like sample a bunch more without having to buy them, because they're also. This is like the curse of liking like super niche games, is that you get both high price and low production values at the same time.
That's my whole life. Like,
so it's like, yeah, like a lot of times I'm happy to just like buy a game and try it and like sell it or trade it away if I don't like it. But like at $150 or $200 a pop, yeah, I really would prefer to test someone else's copy first.
I think that's fair enough.
And it's also really great to have people who actually know how to play the game there to help you coach. Some of the 18xx games actually have really good rule books. Others are really spotty, like a couple of them I've played here. And I don't I think if I had to just flip through a 28-page rule book on my own, I'm not sure it would happen.
Yeah. Or just get lost in the bad wording and impossible to figure out rulebook.
Well, I'm trying to get other people on board with all of the rules and all of the exceptions and knowing how to play them. Con experiences of those types of heavy games can be really like hit or miss for me. You get people that, like, especially an 18xx game, if they don't understand it from the beginning, they're going to be miserable an hour in.
That does not sound like much fun.
But it's the most fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoy trying out heavy games at cons. I definitely prefer to teach in general because I get really grumpy about not knowing rules. Because I really enjoy planning a lot, and when I find out that like this plan that I've been thinking about for a few minutes isn't actually going to work because of this like step I want to do is not legal, it makes me unhappy. But I've been trying to be a little bit more laid back, but I'm nevertheless still notorious for like grumbling at games about how badly I'm losing, even if I'm winning.
So you're a bad winner and a sore loser? Is that what you're trying to say, Nicholas?
I'm not so much a sore loser as much as I am just. I tend to look at, like, when I'm playing a game, I'm looking at it like, what are all the various horrible things that could happen to my position? So, like, I can see things that my opponents could do, and I haven't fully figured out whether or not they're good ideas for them, or even if they're likely to see them. And so I spend most of my time, particularly longer games, going like, I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose. And then sometimes I win and sometimes I don't, but it's not. It's pretty much inevitable that Nicholas will believe that they are losing.
I think a lot of people feel that way. I consistently in my group there are two people that are some of the better players in our group that the entire time they're complaining about losing and not doing well and everything's not going their way, and then they'll just crush. So it does happen, I think, because you start thinking about all the bad things.
Well, I'm glad to say that we don't have anyone in our game group that complains too much about losing. So I lose the majority of the time in heavier games anyway. So I'm alright. I just sit and go with it and try and pick on other people's strategies. And I'll be like, well, if I can't win, I'll destroy your strategy or pick at yours a little bit. But yeah.
My friend Danielle's on Twitter saying, "You're not talking about me, are you?" I'm like, "No, it's Brian."
Yeah, if I can't win a game, then I'm going to do my best to make sure that somebody can't get like a crushingly good score. So that's what I'll then start to aim for. Unless it's one that, like you said, like the first couple of times you're playing one, you're just learning it, so you're still trying to figure out what the strategies are. And if you don't play it again for like 2 or 3 months, it can then be intimidating to just step back into it, and then I just lose it again. So never mind.
Quick break in here. For anyone that's watching right now, we are going to be doing somewhat regular, hopefully Sunday morning, Google Hangouts with just me and a couple people I'll invite into the stream, and then hopefully have a chat room available. If you would like to ask any questions or talk at all, I'm monitoring my Twitter stream, so you can just at me at Maggibot, and I will try and answer. If Sunday mornings do not work for you for a particular reason, let me know, but for right now, that's probably the best time in my schedule, so of course, that's what's probably going to happen. But it'll be better set up next time.
Just out of curiosity, Maggie, when you set up the stream through, did you set up the stream through YouTube?
So this is a Google Hangout on Air. If I had a fancier rig, my computer's pretty darn simple. I would just use an encoder and do Twitch, but with my computer, it would melt into a pile on the table. So Google Hangout on Air is super kind of low-key for computers, and it works relatively well if you can just get the chat to show up. It's a little less quality video as well, but it's fine. I don't mind. No structure, no cares.
Yeah, no worries. Well, I mean, afterwards, I can, if you talk to me on Twitter, I'll be able to show you how to get the chat window sorted. So that took me.
Like I said, I've actually done this a few times, and it was not toggling this morning. I just didn't want to do it.
It wasn't working? Strange.
There's
Yeah, it
there's
took me
that.
like 3 attempts to figure it out as well. So
Yeah, we had to figure it out on the fly. So we started a new Twitch stream with a couple of friends of mine on Friday nights, every other
yeah,
Friday. Um, we spent a good like few hours trying to get that to work the other night. Her Insert Straw Here's encoder wasn't working, so we had to switch to Google On Air, and then we couldn't get the chat to show up. It was a nightmare. But we did figure it out just a couple nights ago, so today it's just not wanting to work. And
it's all
then Smash and Grab, who's hi. He was talking about playing Millennium Blades. Have you guys played Millennium Blades yet?
no.
No.
Nope.
Okay, so it's a level 99 game. What I love about it, because I'm a Magic player, and there's not so many of us in the board game world that do Magic, but it's meant to be a CCG simulator. You basically, in the game, you build a deck and go to a pre-release, and then you buy booster packs and rebuild your deck and go to a tournament. Like, it's all within the game. It's really unique and weird and fun.
Oh, I think I saw Board Game Brawl do a review of that or a preview of that. Yeah, I definitely did actually. Um, yeah, it seems like a cool game. Was it Kickstarted originally or?
You know, I don't remember. I know Level 99 does Kickstarter stuff. I think it was like mega Kickstarter. I think it made a lot of money and like did really well, and that it just recently came out to stores. I heard through the grapevine that I didn't need the Kickstarter promo packs or anything, so I just bought the retail copy. It's a big old box though. It's almost a coffin box. If you guys know what that is, like the really long ones. It's stupid heavy, and it has one of the most unique components ever. You get a stack of paper money, like literally a stack like this, and then you bundle 10 of the bills together. And when you're playing in the game, there's a real-time buying and selling element. So using the stacks of money is way easier than like just single bills. It's actually utilitarian. It's interesting the way they did it.
Yeah.
I need to check it out. Given I've only played Magic twice or 3 times in my life. Just borrowed decks, but
Sure.
yeah, it was quite aggressive. I think it was the best way.
That's a really good term for it. Magic, what I will say, it's kind of like any other complicated card game. It gets better the more you play it, and the truly magical moment in Magic is when you build a deck and it all comes together and you get to kill someone the way that you designed. It's like a Rube Goldberg machine, and it just comes together, and that's a beautiful thing. That's what sells the game.
Well, like two of my friends that we're going to the UK Games Expo with, one of them actually owns the board game store where we have our board game club, but he is currently down at a Magic something. I don't know what it is, but it's like some sort of tournament. And yeah, one of my other friends that's coming down with us, he went to like a Magic club one night. It was a bit slightly off topic, but also really funny. And some guy was like, "Oh, okay, I'll teach you the I'll teach you the game and give you just let me finish this game." And he got so trounced in the game that he was playing beforehand when he was teaching him the other game. He was like, "Right, that's your deck. You do this," and then he just went bang, 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 and now you're dead.
Oh. It's not ideal.
Wow. Yeah, I played Magic for a bunch of years, and now just restrict myself to enjoying people chat about the meta, which is a lot cheaper. But I definitely want to try Millennium Blades sometime. It's like something that I don't think is going to go over well with the people I most frequently play with, and it's also so huge that it's going to be hard for me to take it anywhere. Because
it's not bus friendly or anything. Like I have to be driving if I want to take that somewhere.
Yeah, that and like things like that size or like the Gowers. Like I feel bad about Gowers because like I've enjoyed it, but it's so big and heavy that it's rarely going to leave my home. And since I mostly play elsewhere, that means I will rarely play it. But that's life, I guess.
I luck out because in Seattle, most libraries have the Gallerist around here, so I don't have to take it to most shops. But it definitely has not left my house since I bought it. Like, I guess it's been in bags to cons. That's about it. But I take so many bags of games to cons, it's ridiculous, like pounds and pounds and pounds.
Well, you know, you need to make sure they're games.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to PaizoCon a little later today, which is why this cast is only an hour and so kind of poorly put together. So PaizoCon is like the people that make Pathfinder make their own little con down here in Seattle, and it doesn't do a really good job yet of inviting outsiders, like not super core Pathfinder junkies and like people that are on the forums constantly. But I have a couple of friends that either work for Paizo or are like adjacent to them, and so I'm just gonna go down and see them today. And even to this RPG con, I'm still grabbing a bag of games because gamers will play stuff in between like one-off RPGs and stuff like that. So pretty excited.
That's how many cons have you hit this year, Maggie?
I don't do that many. Nicholas has definitely got a huge count of cons, but locally I do like 4 or 5, just because Seattle has so many. But the big ones I only do Gen Con this year and BG Con, which is in November.
Cool. Well, how many have you? Nicholas?
I think I don't remember. It's like I've done 5 or so this year, I think. That sounds right. There's OrcaCon, Con of the North, ConCon, Geekway, HeavyCon. Yes.
I was considering coming up for OrcaCon. Are you coming up for OrcaCon?
Yes, that is the plan. And it's like a weekend when we can actually go together.
OrcaCon is a new local con in Seattle that is tabletop focused because none of the cons up here are. They're all kind of like a mixed focus of video games and science and other stuff. This one's specifically tabletop games, and it's run by a friend of mine, so it's really, really, really fun.
Yeah, I had a great time. Like I went, and this was OrcaCon's first year, and I had a blast. I'm definitely looking forward to going again. Like this year was like small enough that I really liked it. I'm curious to see how it will grow, which is something I've been worrying about more as I like some of the cons I've been going to, like Geekway and Dice Tower. I'm noticing negative effects to growth for open gaming cons. Yeah.
Well, their intention, I don't know if it's going to work for them well, but what they're doing, they rented, this year it was in one little hotel in a place called Everett, Washington, which is in the middle of, like, it's way, way north of Seattle. Mm-hmm. Like an hour is way, way north for me. I had to get in a car for 40 minutes.
I live in Manhattan, like things that are like 5 miles away. I'm like, where? I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't go there. So it's in Everett. But what they're doing this year is they're at that same hotel plus another hotel with a shuttle to do events. I don't know how it's going to work for them. I wish them all the luck with the logistics of that, but it sounds like it's going to still kind of feel as small as it did this time, I hope.
Yeah, I'm pretty hopeful. Like, the ones that I've seen running into trouble is, like once you're over about 1,500 people, and you just get more and more rooms, and it becomes harder and harder to just, like, do pickup games because space is fragmented and stuff, I think, is part of it. But, yeah, fingers crossed for OrcaCon.
What I like is that they are listening to things like when we come back and we say, hey, BGGCon is really good for pickup games. Here are like the methods they use to do that. They're being very receptive to like listening to that, because I don't know if you guys watching have been to BGGCon, but it's this 5-day amazing con where I don't care who you are or what you're looking for, you can always find pickup games. Like if you like teaching games, you could just teach games for the whole 5 days. Nicholas and my partner Brian definitely just taught a crap ton of games for 5 days.
Yeah, that's usually me at cons, like pretty much any con I go to. I generally like to just teach a lot. I think HeavyCon is like one of the rare times that I haven't taught a whole bunch of.
That's because you want to use all their 18XX so you don't have to buy them.
That's very true, yes. I'm shameless about that.
Shameless.
Quick question.
Yeah, and I really like the players one. Sorry.
Oh, no, sorry. You go, Nicholas. Finish that.
Oh, I would say that I really like I've been to a few different kinds of cons, like heavily scheduled ones, and then like open gaming with players wanted signs. I definitely prefer open gaming as players wanted signs in general. And BGG Con is probably the pinnacle of that for me.
Especially for those of us who are a little less socially graceful. Like, I went to BGGCon without knowing a single soul. I went by myself, and that was my first year. And I have some amazing memories. I sat down at a random table that said Players Wanted, and I was like, hey, can I join your game? And I looked up, and the two people I was sitting next to were actually, like, regulars at my shop back home. And so I got to, like, hang out with these people that I sort of kind of knew, but it was just all through happenstance. It was really special. Sorry,
Yeah.
Georgie, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, just when you keep saying Orca-Con, is that like Free Willy?
Yes. Orcas, there are lots of them up here by Seattle. They migrate between here and north. So
Okay.
there's Orcas Island, and there's lots of pods that come through here, and so it's a thing around everywhere in Seattle is Orca something.
No, that's cool. I
My
just wanted
bus
to, like,
card is
check.
called an Orca card. So.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to like double check before I started like googling it afterwards and spelling it wrong or something.
Because
But
it
yeah,
sort
okay.
of sounds like orc, like the, orc, but it's supposed to both be sounding like both, I
You
think.
could try to orc a con,
Ha! That would not be nice, though. You'd have to leave after.
probably. They're not known for their good behavior.
And then I don't know if Chris Schreiber is still here, but he had sent me a tweet and I didn't see it. He had been playing Animals on Board this week. Have you guys played Animals on Board yet?
No, it looks super adorable.
It's like
Yeah,
this
so
little
that's the-
stronghold game, right? With the
Yeah.
little Noah's Ark things.
Yeah. Yeah, where if you have more than 2 animals, then it starts becoming a negative effect, but you have to get them in pairs. Yeah.
Yeah, all I saw Stephen Bonacore had it at a trade show I was at, and I got distracted by Bear Valley, which, no regrets. I played Bear Valley, so I'm fine. But I saw Mina's Fresh Cardboard covered it, and I just haven't played it yet.
You'll just have to bear it. Yeah, I enjoy quick little games along those lines, so I hope to try it someday.
All
I'm
right.
very jealous of
Sorry.
Bear Valley because I really regret not pre-ordering that because everyone's started to get their copies, and now I've seen a playthrough of it, and I'm like, I knew it was going to be awesome. I definitely should have pre-ordered that. So
It's going to be my new Chittick party game. I'm super excited. It played real well at 4 players, and it seemed like it wanted to go to 6, so I'm actually pretty excited about that.
I don't think anything is going to replace Red 7 for me from him. It might do, but
Okay, but when
Red
you played
7
Red 7, do you play with all of the rules? Like
Yeah.
the powers and stuff? Do you play with the power on the ones?
what where you have to discard.
Put the card on the
forgot.
top?
Yeah.
So we found that to be completely overpowered, especially in 2 or 3 player games, so we had to kind of abolish that rule. I don't know if you guys have played. I played a crap ton of Red 7, like when it got big for a second, and I love Chuddick games. But that one power, if I drew like 3 ones, you were just not gonna win that game. Like it just got ridiculous.
Yeah, that's true. And I guess
Yeah,
it's the
I
same
think
principle. Same principle with anything that has a deck of cards, though, is it's quite luck driven. So if you get like 3 threes, then regardless of what you play, you're going to be able to draw another card and have a bigger hand than anyone else. But
Except the draw rule in that game doesn't favor 3s, so that's why it's on the 3, I think. I don't know how much. I wouldn't call that game completely random. I've won a lot of Red 7. There is definitely luck to it, but you play what you have, not what you want.
yeah, definitely. I still love it though. It's awesome. But from what I've seen of Bear Valley, it might replace it. But I kind of hope it doesn't because like I hold Red 7 pretty close to my heart because it's a game that me and my wife can play consistently. We can take it to the bar, and even after a couple of drinks, she still loves it. So.
I don't think it'll replace Red 7. It's definitely going to be just maybe a game that we cycle through our like end of the night game night stuff, because we usually play Spades or Oh Hell or something just kind of cards driven, and so sometimes we'll play like Lifeboat or something. It'll be in that vein for me. Sorry to interrupt, but I've got about 3 minutes left. I actually have to keep to time today, which I normally would never. I would just wait till no one was watching, but I have to go to a con any minute. I gotta go shower. But I wanted to get two minutes of each of you saying what the next game is that you're most looking forward to. Georgie.
I think it's still got to be, well, Onitama, because I'm hoping to pick that up at UK Games Expo from the Dice Tower guys, because I heard they're going to bring in a few copies.
It was real good.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I really like the idea of that sort of back and forth two-player game, and I am still waiting for the others, which I think is going to be the next big Eric Lang game. So I really hope that comes out soon. I would think it was rescheduled for July. So
that's the big Cool Mini or Not thingy with all the minis and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like I know almost nothing about that game.
It's got horror and it's got Eric Lang, so to me that's ticking all my boxes already, and it's quite heavy dice rolling, but it seems like there's a lot of strategy to it too. So
well, it's Eric Lang. It'll have strategy. I just so many dice, so many minis. No. Sorry, Nicholas. What are you looking forward to now?
I think I'm hoping to get them to the table soon. Gotta chop some wood, and I think the other thing is game 51st State Master Set.
Yeah, mine is unplayed. It's right there. I can see.
Mine is still like in shrink lying on my bed, sadly.
I organized mine already, but it's not played yet.
I haven't had time. Well, that's not true. I had time that I could have spent like organizing 51st State, but I spent it finishing organizing Lignum because golly, that game has a lot of bits.
So Lignum is a kind of this weird little Euro game that I don't think it's officially coming out yet, right? It's just kind of import only.
I think they're doing like a second print run or something.
I think so too. But a lot of people had some trouble getting their copies, and it just it hit every speed bump along the way. So a lot of people haven't played it yet. I had the opportunity to play it, and we played the Gallerist instead. It looks interesting though. And then 51st State is still to this day one of my favorite games, but I replaced it with Imperial Settlers because it was easier to get to the table. I'm super excited about the Master Set.
Just in how the Master Set works. And Lignum, I'm partially just eager to get to the table because it's one of the few remaining games on like my Spiel like anticipation games list that I've been making not as rapid progress as I would like because I keep getting distracted by new shiny things, but that's
it's going to run into this year's Spiel list any second, you know that.
Basically, yes. Yeah, I've put a time limit on worrying about it. And whatever.
Georgie, have you played 51st State?
I've not.
It's going to be real mean for you if you don't like the mean games.
Yeah, I think that's what kind of put me off it. However, I have seen loads of people tweeting about it, and Ignacy seems to be really, really, really proud of the Master Set. So hopefully, it'll be one of those games that maybe one of my friends can buy, and I can try it out then.
Well, do you have Imperial Settlers?
No, but one of my friends has that too. So we're going to be playing that hopefully at the UK Games Expo. Because we're bringing a load of games down. Because the last time we planned on, no, we didn't plan on playing that. We planned on playing something else. But anyway, it changed into us playing Rebellion instead. But,
you know, same thing. What I will say is I insist that you guys make some time for at least Imperial Settlers, because if you don't like the super mean stuff, it takes a lot of the mean away from 51st State and leaves the really fun microtransaction little game. It's just really cool.
It is so fun, like, getting your engine off the ground in that game. You know, like, now I'm just going... I wasn't scoring at all for the first 3 rounds, and now I'm just going to... all the victory points.
Okay, I've noted it down. I will promise I'll play that the next time we speak.
Good, yes. So after UK Games Expo, we should do another hangout like this on a Sunday. Come back and tell me about it.
I will. That's what we'll do.
All right, y'all. It was really nice to see you. Nice to see everybody in the
Same here.
stream. Sorry for messing up all the things, but we'll do this better next time. Okay, have a nice day. Bye. Bye.
Ciao. Bye.